I usually go about an hour. We're live now, so an
Ah,
hour. Or, if it goes longer, we go longer.
okay.
Well, here we are. We have a woman who needs no introduction.
The
Uh,
Chatty Cathy.
yeah. Uh, this, of course, is Heather, the Kneady Homesteader, and it's called Heather, the Kneady Homesteader. Uh,
This, of
I,
course, is
I,
Heather,
I
the
screwed up here. I
homesteader.
got big echo going. I had the YouTube side going too at the same time.
Nice.
Anyway, now we're
I
all
didn't do that.
no, we're all squared away.
Well, hello. Hello. Now,
Well,
I'm going to ask you, like, how do I see the chat in here? If I click on it, do I
okay.
see it?
Yeah, there
But
should
then I lose you, right?
no. Should be able to see it down the right hand side.
It will only show me, like, I won't be able to see you as I talk to you. It'll only show me the comments. Oh, and there's like a private chat too on here.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. Tony and Pam and Laureen and Grampy. Me and you. Oh, Leslie. Oh, who else? Margie. Oh my gosh, the Mennonite Fire. Everybody's here. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. Hi, guys.
All kinds of good people here.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I did a stream not too long ago with that apple skiver pan. Making them. It's the first time I'd made them.
Yeah. I didn't even know a pan like that. You want to chime everybody in on what we were talking about?
Yeah, we were talking. I was gonna, I showed her the nickel plated corn stick pan that I was gonna give away when I get 20 members. Only 4 more to go.
Come on, join. I want that pan.
And I'm gonna give away an apple skiver pan too. So everybody enter the drawing on them, and they are neat. I mean, I can't really reach it.
You have one?
I've got one handy. It isn't the one I'm giving away. I thought I had it right here. Why don't I have it right here? I got too many things underfoot. Include my dog. Hang on here. I'll grab it.
Okay, that's okay. Hi, guys. And I told Mud, I said, can you tell all I do is sit outside and read my Bible all day? I'm a little tan. I didn't realize it until I came on the camera, you guys. So I hope everybody's well. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us. I don't know if you know this or not, but Mud has been a longtime subscriber of mine. And before he had a channel, he used to leave comments in my comment channel, on my comment section saying, have you bought a cast iron pan yet? Have you bought a cast iron pan? And I said, no, but I'm scared. I don't know how to clean it. I don't know what I'm doing. And you said, it's easy. And you said, girl, I'll teach you. And so he taught me. And Mud is the reason why I now only cook in cast iron. Yep. He's the reason. And then I would yell at him, say, you need a channel. You need to be teaching people more than just me on how to do this. And I'm so glad that you opened up a channel, because you're just a worth, just a world worth of information, Mud. And I'm a huge fan of yours, and I'm a member. Yeah. So come join me and hang out in Mud's membership.
The first one, in fact.
I was the first one. I said, please let me be the first one.
That's an
look at that pan. Okay, so you put pancake batter in that.
Yeah, and you just fill the little cups, 3/4 full or so, and when it cooks and it gets firmed up, you just take a bamboo skewer. Works great. You just catch the edge of it, and you kind of pull it halfway up.
Okay.
And the batter will run out that isn't cooked inside, and then that'll cook. And then you flip it the other way, and you just keep kind of rolling and flipping until it's cooked all over.
Oh my goodness!
And it makes a ball. The one I'm giving away is a little different style than this, but it's same thing.
It's like a pancake cake ball.
Yeah.
Like those cake balls that they make, but it's in a pancake form. And then you can just shoot it with like some home canned.
Yeah. Jelly
apple pie filling, cherry pie filling, or some jam. Blueberry jam. Oh, blueberry jam would be good in that.
Or you can just roll them in sugar, or you can.
Now, how much does a pan usually cost for that?
They've been making these for years. There's lots of different makers. This is an old Griswold. And, Wagner made them. These go for usually around $50.
Okay.
But there's lots of imported ones. There's lots of other brands. Lodge makes them.
Okay.
You can find them for anywhere from $10 on up. Depending.
So you're doing that as a giveaway, $50 for a Griswold.
No, not this
Oh,
one.
not that one. Okay,
No.
okay. I was like, oh my gosh. So that's from your personal collection.
Yeah.
Along with the beautiful wall behind you.
Oh yeah. There's a whole bunch on the. I've been so far behind on everything. I got too many projects going on at once, and not a single one of them done.
Yeah.
But hopefully I'll be caught up here in the next couple of weeks. I've been saying that for the last couple of months, but finally getting caught up. So yes, Kate, that is in a Danish apple skiver pan. But yeah, like I said, the one I'm giving away is a little different style, and there's different, like I said, different styles, different makers, and they're pretty commonly available. So
that I've never seen one, and that is just so. If I don't win it on your giveaway, I'm gonna have to buy one. Try my hand at making.
And I had it for quite a while before I actually got around to trying it out, and why didn't I do this sooner?
Right. Dude, that's so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just decent, and they taste a lot better than regular pancakes for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, it seems, just I use just a Bisquick batter, try it out and figure out how it worked, and yeah, it's got a lot different kind of flavor to it. I suppose it's the way it cooks. They're not nearly as heavy as a pancake are.
Yeah.
And they're a lot lighter.
Because they're thin. I would guess that they're thin because you're moving it around, and spreading it out. So
ideally, you should have kind of a hollow spot in the middle. And even if you don't, you can still get jelly into them.
Yeah.
Eyes itch. Working in dust all day.
Insert the Visine ad here.
Over the weekend, I found some more cast iron. This is just a big Lodge pan.
Nice.
I paid $20 for it. It's number 10, so it's about 12 inches. But it had a lid with it.
Wow.
The lid alone probably goes for $30 used if you find it.
Right.
So that was definitely.
I remember you telling me a lot of things that had lids, when you find them, are having the lids missing. So that's a good find.
So even if you find the lid and you don't have a pan to fit it, go ahead and get it.
Get the lid.
Someday it'll give you a good excuse to find a pan that does fit. So
I would love to hang my cast iron on my kitchen wall. I don't have a real like a dedicated wall that I could put cast iron on, but I just love the look of it. And the ease of it to just pull it down. My girlfriend just hung a rack for her cast iron, and it's just so beautiful,
Yeah. See, when I redid the kitchen years ago, we had a fair bit of cast iron then too. So I put plywood sheeting behind everything, so I can just.
Oh, okay. So it can hold the weight.
Yeah, I can just shoot a screw in wherever I want to put one.
Nice.
But with most like a sheetrock wall, you have to find the studs and screw something into the studs like a rack. Make sure it's really well mounted, and then you can hang stuff on that.
Gotcha.
Or even just find a nice board, varnish it up nice, and you want to try and get at least 3 studs if you can. So you want to have something about 4 foot long at least.
Yeah.
And you get that screwed in good and solid, then you can put hooks on that, and then you can hang your stuff on the hooks.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of different racks out there too for hanging.
Yeah. All right.
Raymond wants to know if you can use your baguette dough for pizza crust.
Yes, you can. Absolutely. It's like it's a very easy, simple recipe that you can turn into just about anything. Breadsticks, pizza, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw you making your baguettes this morning when I was getting ready for work.
Yeah, that was a hard video to make. And I did not want to make it. And I argued with God with it. I said, Lord, I do not want to make this video. And it just pinged in my heart, make the video. It's going to be good for you because yesterday marked the 5-month time since our accident. And then it's good for other people to see too, because it's incredible to me if you go through the comment section of that video, which now I think is sitting at like 50,000 views already, how many widows there are, and widowers, but widows.
Yeah.
So I talked about this with my grief therapist, because I meet with a grief therapist once a week, about, it's almost like unspoken, and yet it's something we all face, right? I mean, none of us get out of here alive, right?
Yeah.
And yet nobody talks about it. And it's not until I became a widow that I feel like not hundreds, but thousands of women stepped forward and said, I'm a widow too. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. So I don't know how God is going to use me for that. But he took care of the video. I was like, Lord, I don't know how I'm going to film it. I don't know how I'm going to edit it. I just don't even know what I'm doing. I cried through the whole thing. That's why I set it to music. And I just followed the lead that I was called to do. And that video ended up being so beautiful and moving. I can't even watch it. Like, I had to watch it to edit it.
Yeah.
And you know how you have to watch it back to make sure, I mean, it had like 50 edits in it. You have to watch it and play it back and make sure everything's, and I just a bawl and ugly cry. So I don't think I'll be able to watch that video again. But how do you move forward? Like, how do you move your channel forward when, my husband was such a pivotal part of my channel. He's the reason why I have a channel. He's a big part of it. So I had to at least, share him and dedicate to him. So anyway, I appreciate all the love and the support that I've gotten from that video. And just the comments, just you got to sit there with a tissue box just reading the comments, So
Thank you, David Dempsey, for the $1.99 super sticker.
Oh, nice. That's always nice when somebody shows you love like that.
Yeah.
That's so nice. So yeah, I had to make some bread. Now I want to make more bread. My dad wants pumpernickel, so I need to make him some pumpernickel bread. I think he ate both loaves that I baked.
I've never made pumpernickel. I'm not really a fan of rye.
Okay.
About the only thing I like rye in is Boston brown bread and bourbon.
I'm not a big fan of the caraway seeds.
Yeah, I don't.
But I like rye without the caraway. So I make mine without the caraway seeds. So but we are big fans of pumpernickel here. My son Eric loves pumpernickel bread. And so is my dad. So I'm gonna make some.
Yeah, I have to make some Boston brown bread one of these days too. It's been a while.
Yeah.
You were saying that you see it in grocery stores in the can, usually in the bean aisle.
Oh, really? I've never looked there for Boston bread. Really?
Yeah, it's comes in a can. B&M is the main brand that I've found.
Okay.
Like B&M baked beans. It's the same outfit.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look for that.
And, yeah, it's really good, and it's actually you steam it in the oven.
Okay.
You make up it's kind of a batter.
Yeah.
And you pour it in some kind of a mold. I had some little tiny loaf pans.
Yeah.
I pour it in there and set that in a thing of boiling water, and then you bake it in the oven and steam it, and then you can't remember, you cover it. Then you steam it. Then the last 10-15 minutes you uncover it and kind of dry the tops off a bit. And yeah, it's really good. And there's plain, and there's some that has raisins in it.
Oh, okay. I need to make a video on the smoked lasagna I did.
Yeah,
that was really good. I mean, I smoked a meatloaf the night before, and then the leftover meatloaf I chopped up and put it in homemade spaghetti sauce that I made. My garden, I've got like 17 tomato plants about to burst. And so when those start coming off the vine, my hope is to be able to roast them and then eventually can them. I'll probably have to freeze them for a while until I'm physically able to can. But I pulled the last 6 jars off my shelf and made homemade spaghetti sauce. And I was just going to make spaghetti. And then I was like, I'm going to chop up the meatloaf and put it in the sauce. And then I ended up putting the sauce in a lasagna. And then I ended up putting the lasagna on the smoker.
Yeah.
And man, was that mozzarella cheese good. You could tell it was smoked. Oh, it was so good.
Yeah, and if you're gonna make sauce, especially out of tomatoes, it really does help to freeze them first, because
Yeah.
that draws a lot of the water out, and when you thaw them out, you just drain that water off, and it saves a lot of time when you go to cook your sauce down,
Yeah.
because you get so much water out of it before you even start cooking it.
Right.
It really makes a big difference. Let's see your catch back.
I hope I can can this year. I'm hoping I'll get back to canning.
Tiny Tim Posey, thanks for the super chat.
Nice.
$10. Do you have any camp Dutch ovens? I don't have any camp Dutch ovens. Mine are all just regular plain ones. I got a couple that have the bales on them, but they don't have feet, and they don't have the lid with the rim on it for stacking coals on top. I'll come across one here eventually. The camp cauldron, does that count? I have a bunch of cauldrons here. I got 3 or 4 of them. Big.
That's one thing I don't have yet.
Big kettles with the feet on them. They're pretty. So you can find pretty old ones, pretty reasonable.
Yeah. I need one. I need one for the fire pit.
Yeah, they're great for that. And
yeah.
You can set them right down in the coals too.
Exactly. Yeah, I need the one with the feet. Little feet on it.
To
make a pot of chili out there while I'm burning the brush.
And me and New Acres still haven't got any pressure cannon, but the year isn't over. Yeah, I got a jar of sauerkraut there that's been ready to go for about 3 weeks now. Still haven't got around to canning that.
Really? Oh, it's got your name on it. You got to get it done, right?
You can let it go a while longer. It takes about 6 weeks for it to ferment, but
I have never made sauerkraut or canned it. That's one thing I haven't done yet.
Oh, it's really.
But you know what? I mean, I feed kids, and kids. Yeah. So their favorite is barbecue sauce. I can can that continuously for them.
A homemade sauerkraut tastes a bit different. It's got a lot more fermented taste to it.
Oh, nice.
Because most of your commercial sauerkraut, they'll let it ferment a little while. Then they'll add vinegar. It's more pickled than it is really.
Okay. Matt wasn't a big fan of sauerkraut, but I like it, like on a Reuben and stuff like that. Like I like me some sauerkraut on there.
Yeah, it's just cabbage and salt. Is all it is. It's real easy to make. Especially, I got a little winemaking airlock.
Oh, okay.
You can get away with just putting like a plastic bag full of water on top to keep the air out. But this works a lot better with this gallon jar. And the better job you can do of keeping air away from it, the better it turns out.
Yeah.
Them always work out good. Yeah, I'll get around to that. The last batch I canned up on the wood stove.
Oh.
That was kind of fun. It took me ages to make it because I started off, making the sauerkraut right from the beginning and showed that. So it took 2 months to make it. Yeah, and they make fermenting crocks too. A regular crock.
Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah,
they got like a channel around the inside, and there's a lip on the lid, and you set the lid down in there, and you fill that channel with water, and it lets the stuff bubble out, and it's just like like a winemaking airlock. But I think they only go up about 2 gallons with them.
Okay.
I got a big 10-gallon crock. I got to make some crock pickles this year too. Another project for my list. And I tried an experiment with them. See, I made some, not last summer, but the summer before. And a lot of people had real problems with their vegetables molding from the garden. Must have been the weather that year.
Yeah.
And they went bad on me. I ended up had like 8 gallons of pickles, and it just turned nasty on me.
Right.
And I think it's because they didn't start working fast enough.
Oh, okay.
But I tried an experiment with a little bit of sourdough starter.
Mm-hmm.
pretty much the same, bacteria, microorganisms, and that really worked out good. So I think what I'm going to do is when I get my crock fired up here full of crock pickles, I'll dump a little bit of sour spill starter in there to kick them off right away.
Nice.
Because once you get things fermenting along,
Yeah.
it keeps the bacteria and the mold down. So hopefully it'll turn out this time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that year a lot of people had problems with stuff going moldy on them. They'd pick something out of the garden, and the next day it was starting to get fuzzy.
Mold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes that happens, I guess. Just depends on the weather that year. I didn't plant a whole huge garden this year. I just planted some peas and squash and watermelon because I still got tomato sauce left over from last year.
Yeah.
Use that up before I go growing anymore. And my peas didn't do all that good because peas do better when it's cooler out. And it went directly from hard freeze every night to 98 degrees. So
it was crazy, wasn't it? I mean, especially up where I live, we don't get like usually heat like that early. And we literally would go one night from 28 degrees one night to like 93 the next day. And it was like, the plants didn't know what to do. Do you bring them in? Do you bring them out? It was like, I said a prayer over my garden and said, well, whatever survives is going to survive. But thankfully, I think we lost one plant, one yellow squash. And that was it. So.
Oh, did you plant any of them squash seeds I gave you this year?
I did not. I know I did not, because I really wasn't going to plant. I didn't start anything from seed. Everything that's in the garden, my dad actually bought already started.
Yeah.
He was like, I said, I want to start some things from seed. And he's like, not this year, daughter. He's like, it's too much. It's too much. So he tilled my garden. I got him the manure and all that stuff, and he tilled everything in for me, prepped everything, and then went around and did holes for me so that I could sit in my wheelchair, because at that time I couldn't even couldn't even stand. So I sat in my wheelchair and I planted my garden. So, but everything was already started. So all of the seeds that I have your seeds, and then I have, and my gardener had that sale, I think of, what was it, October, November of last year. And I bought so much. In fact, I bought, I think, 2 shipments of it, because then I ordered more, because we didn't know in a COVID world, like what we were going to even be facing. So I got extra seeds, and I have all those seeds in a seed box now. So hopefully next year I'll be able to get to, seed starting, but not this year.
Yeah, they keep a lot longer than you would think. As long as they're in a decently stored, they'll last pretty much forever.
Okay.
A lot of them they'll say on the packet, used by 2 or 3 years, but I've had seeds 10, 15, 20 years old come up. You might not get quite as many of them that'll germinate, but
that's what I was afraid of, putting anything in the ground and then it didn't germinate, and then I lost the seeds, and I was like,
you still get a pretty good percentage of them coming up even out of old seeds a lot of times. But yeah, my squash are thriving, and I finally got hold of their little yellow watermelon. They're yellow inside.
Oh.
And they are just unreal. They're so sweet. It's like
they're so sweet. I've had those. We've bought those up at the market that's in the next town over, and those were really good. What are the names of them?
Yellow Doll, I think they call these ones.
Okay.
And our local farm market here.
Yeah.
I kept harassing them because they ordered them up and they didn't come. They finally showed up, and I got some of those going too. So
nice.
Hoping they do good.
Yeah.
The vine is coming along pretty good. The squash are just running amok.
The squash here is so happy.
They're already starting to set some little squash on them.
Yeah.
So at least this year they pollinated.
Good. Yeah. Yeah. I could not, for the last 2 years, I've been trying to grow cucumber. Could not do it. This year, they're pollinated and they're growing like crazy. So they're flowering. I'm hoping something comes up because I just want to make some refrigerator pickles. just just let me make a pickle. So my mind wants to do so much, and then my body says, oh no, not yet.
But it's good, you're starting to slowly come back into things, and yeah, it'd be some good content showing
Yeah.
how you adapt to learning new things and learning how to do old things differently.
Yes. With I think I'm going to make a video about I've had a few requests of showing things like tools that I'm using to help me get along, because I am injured still. I mean, like I have a thumb that doesn't work. Like, like you can open up this thumb, but this thumb does not. So I actually need surgery again on this. It's a torn tendon. But I have 2 traumatic brain injuries. So the balance of anesthesia with a traumatic brain injury versus, fixing a thumb, you have to set your priorities, because I don't have a husband anymore who can take care of my kids if something happens to me. So I've really got to weigh out what's important. So I've been working hard in occupational therapy just to get this strong enough to be functional. But it's still damaged. Same with my pinky. My pinky, I can't lift my pinky. So unlike this one doesn't move. So there have been certain tools that I have bought myself that have just been game changers for me. So I'm thinking I'm going to do a video in case somebody else out there might have a hand injury, or, hand issues, is things that might help them, So
yeah, I've smashed my hands a few times, and usually the smallest 2 fingers on either hand. And it took years before I could curl my little fingers all the way in, and you get to about there, and that was it.
That's it. And that's it. Yeah.
Just finally using them, and like I said, it took 3 or 4 years for one of them to finally get back where it is. Surprisingly, I haven't lost any digits, but considers over the horrible things I've done to my hands.
Oh my gosh, thank goodness you still have all your digits. But these are things you don't think about unless you have to, so I might do a video too on, because a lot of the things I bought have been off of Amazon, because I can't go shopping, right? I can't travel. Well, my restrictions have been lifted now, but for this entire time, I haven't been able to travel longer than a half hour from my house. Well, the nearest mall is an hour. So, I haven't been able to go shopping. So, but a lot of the therapy things that I'm using to strengthen my hands, to strengthen my leg, to strengthen my core, have come from Amazon. So, and there are a lot of the things that my therapists use on me. Like the TheraBands and the Digiflex and all of those things. So I might make a video on that too, because that might be helpful for somebody too,
Yeah, a lot of people got, the injuries or arthritis.
Right.
It's, good direction you can go in.
Yeah. I'm just going to let the spirit take me, because honestly, I think about, oh my goodness, I don't know. I have no idea I know. I want to make some videos with my dad and my stepmom. They've got some amazing recipes that they've been making for me and the kids. And I'm like, I need to video that.
Can Heather see the chat? I'm not sure. Can you?
I cannot. I can't unless I shut off mud. But now I can. Hi, Angie. Angie's been here to see me. That was a really nice visit. She came one night and spent the night with me. And that was really nice. Hi, all sorts. Thank goodness for Amazon. Yes, girl. Yes.
Oh, you want my wood stove, do you? Yeah, that's a lot of fun. It's, fun to cook on, and
Yeah.
just
Oh my
as,
gosh, your wood stove is gorgeous.
just as an extra heat source, it's a lot. Because I heat with wood. I got a heater stove in the living room.
Yeah.
But sometimes when it's really cold, and a little extra heat on this side of the house is kind of nice, and it's great in the spring and fall because you just build a little fire just enough to take the chill off.
Yeah.
And the house.
Hi, Bushcraft family. Charles has been so sweet through this whole thing. He's been keeping people updated and just really, it's been amazing how the community rallied around me. I mean,
Yeah.
I just ugly cry. I felt the love, I felt the love, and I felt, God working. So
yeah, people really fell in behind.
I'm just a mom, right? I'm just a mom with a camera that turns the camera on. You know what I'm saying? I'm not I'm not a big YouTuber. I'm just a mom, and I just show what I do to encourage other people. Like, if I could do it, anybody can do it, So the way that everybody rallied around me was absolutely miraculous, incredible. Just I wouldn't have been able to get through it without it. So I have a box down here that I keep at my feet at my desk, so that when I have a rough day, all I do is I grab a card and I read it. It's just changes your heart space. Like, everything has changed for me. I just see everything very different now, and I don't sweat the small stuff. I don't. I don't let people bother me the way that it just at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that you don't let time go by. You know what I'm saying? Because tomorrow is not promised to you, so, don't waste time. There's something you want to do. If there's something laying on your heart, if there's something you're passionate about, like, do it. Don't wait for tomorrow. Do it. Do it with unbridled passion.
Heather's dad is a hoot.
Oh, my dad, yeah. I thought a new church family. I went to church on Sunday. It was the church of the pastor that came to pray with me in the hospital, and it's been to my home to pray with me. And I didn't want to go with my walker because it's a small church, and I just didn't want to go with my walker. Just like I didn't want to walk. I wanted to walk out of the hospital. I didn't want to go on a gurney, right? So I graduated to a cane on Friday from my walker. So I was like, I'm going to church. So I went to church, and I tell you, the love that I got from everyone in that church was amazing. It was incredible. So my dad went and spoke in front of he said, "Can I say a word?" And I was like, "Oh, we're new. We're sitting in the back." Anyway, my dad just fit right in, and now we're going to the church picnic this Sunday, and I'm so excited. And I think I found my church family. And there's nothing in my community for widows and widowers. I've been asking, and I asked my pastor, and there is a group, a support group for parents who have lost children. But it's pretty far from my house, like 45 minutes from me. But there's nothing for widows or widowers. And I'm like, we need a group, like a coffee chat once a month, where widows and widowers can get together and have some coffee, because it's not like losing your parents. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? It's different. It's different. So I don't know, that's laying on my heart. And my pastor said, well, you might just be the right woman to start something like that. And I'm like, maybe. Maybe. So we'll see. We'll see what I'm being called to do. I don't know, but this community is incredible. I mean, I to say thank you and to say great, how grateful I am. Words cannot express what happened to me. It was miraculous. It was God's army. You know what I'm saying? It was amazing. So I appreciate all the love.
Oh, Grampy Lobster mentioned that I read dirty stories really good. Yeah, I do, actually. So if you ever need somebody to read you a dirty story, give me a call now. I'll set you up with that. I love Grappy. He's a fun old reprobate. Kind of hard to have him on air and keep things PG rated though. But he's a riot. Known him for ages and ages too. Let's see here. Kind of lost track of the chat. Bluebird, evening chores call. Gotta feed them critters. Yeah, have a revolt of animals on you. Still have to get up to Heather Shore to make some pasta. Angie's gonna come to make
Angie's gonna. That was one thing that we've been talking about for what? How long has it been? Angie, probably a year. Angie's gonna come over and she's gonna teach. Now she Italian, so she's gonna come over and teach me how to make like authentic pasta. And once she does, I'm gonna film it. I will definitely film it. I've never made pasta, but wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah. I made pretty good egg noodles,
yeah, I've made egg noodles and I've made dumplings.
Yeah.
But I've never made like pasta, like where you dry it on the rack. I've never done it.
Yeah.
So that's what I plan on doing. I'm gonna do all the things on my bucket list because time stands still for no one.
What do you know about pressure canning? What would you recommend I try to pressure can first? I think beans would be a good one to start with for pressure can.
The thing about beans, of course, I don't pressure can them the USDA way, right? Yeah. But the good thing about beans is that it doesn't cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
It just doesn't cost. So if you mess it up, you miss a few cents, or you put them in a pot and make some refried beans. Yeah. But beans are inexpensive, so that's a good way to start. I, of course, when I started pressure canning, I went right for the gusto. I went with chicken and ground beef. Why? Why did I start with the most expensive thing? I don't know. But that's what I started. That was the first thing that I canned was ground beef and chicken.
Yeah. And Angie, if you're pressure canning on your wood stove, you're going to want to get a weighted gauge, a jiggler for it, because you won't be able to get the kind of fine adjustments you need to run just a gauge and hold the pressure you need. I did that. I got a video somewhere on my channel where I did some pressure canning on the wood stove.
Yeah, I remember that video.
Yeah.
I was just a pitter patter. Pitter patter. It's just like, oh, like you just want a picture of that and then hang it in your kitchen,
Yeah. So yeah, if you get a pressure cooker or pressure canner, most even the new Prestos, like a 23 quart Presto, they come with a 15-pound weight and you're supposed to run them with a gauge, but you can get the adjustable jiggler weights for them, for 5, 10, or 15 pounds. So definitely get yourself one of them before you try it, because that way you won't have problems with the pressure swinging around on you.
Yeah.
Need to find that one. Try to can on the regular stove first. Yeah, a good practice run on a gas stove or electric, just to get the hang of it before you tear into it with a wood stove. Wouldn't hurt. Tortellini sound good. Yeah, I've seen tortellinis made, but I've never tried them. Tried making them. Yeah, Brenda does all her canning on a wood stove. That's how she was taught. Yeah, I mean, once you get the hang of it, it's not hard. And water bath on a wood stove is real easy too. That's no problem with that. It's just a matter of keeping your pressure steady on the wood stove.
Yeah. I'm reading CLA, my pressure canning was chicken and ground pork, but wasn't sure if I should eat it. I think we all Every canner, when they're new, like you eyeball that jar and you're just like, should I trust you? Did I do you right? I would say when you're a new canner, like start with a vegetable, start with like, green beans is a great one.
Yeah.
Carrots is a great one. Carrots aren't that expensive, and you can can like an organic carrot, and and they're easy to do. And then when you go to eat them, like put them in a pot and really bring them to heat and let them sit and simmer for a while. And then that way you kill everything off and they're going to be totally safe and they're going to be good. Or put it in a pot pie.
Yeah.
Like if you do carrots, like can coins, like slice them into coins, can them up, and then put them in a chicken pot pie that's going to bake in the oven for an hour, and you'll be good. You heat it through, and you should be absolutely fine as long as you're canning properly. If you're following, a book, a proper book, you won't have any problems.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a USDA report on a botulism fatality, and this guy had canned up some peppers, and they showed a picture of this jar of peppers that killed him.
Okay.
Nobody in their right mind would have eaten these damn things. I mean, just looking at them, you can tell these are lethal. They're just nasty, ugly, rotten looking things, and not surprisingly, the guy ate them and died. I mean,
right. So, when you open up a jar, and I know I have a video on this too. When you open up a jar, you want to first, before you open it, you're going to look at it and make sure it looks good. You're going to tap on the lid, make sure it's still sealed.
Yeah.
Crack that open. You're going to look at it. You're going to, they say you shouldn't sniff it in case it has like botulism in it. You can sniff in a spore. But if you look at it and you smell it and all of your senses are saying, it looks good, it smells good, it's good.
Yeah.
And then from there, just make sure you're heating it all the way. Like don't eat a mushroom out of the jar. If you're worried that it's not canned properly, heat it up. Heat it up for 10 minutes and you're going to be fine.
And if it is bad, once you heat it up, you'll usually be able to smell if there's something going on.
Right. If it's something wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, Heather's got you spending money.
Huh?
The Mennonite farmhouse. Yes, Heather has got spending money. Oh yeah, we see all that cool stuff and you just got to try it out.
Right. The canning celery, that's all Bev from our half acre homestead. She taught me how to can celery. She did a video like years ago. And I was like, canned celery, I got to try and to be honest, it's one of my favorite things. The water, when you can celery in water, that water is so full of flavor. It is great for like any kind of base that you're making. You're making like a soup base, anything like that. Throw that in. That water is just so full of flavor. It's so good. But I like having, because I don't always have fresh celery. When my husband was alive, I couldn't keep celery in the fridge because he'd eat it with peanut butter. So every time I bought a stalk of celery, I'm like, Matt, you eat my celery again. So it's nice. It was nice for me to have the celery on the shelf in case I wanted it for a chicken pot pie. I would just throw it in, a soup or a stew or something like that, where I don't have fresh on hand. So I love canned celery. Love it.
Angie, me and you Acres is wondering if you have Amazon links for Canada.
For canning?
Canada.
Oh, for Canada. I don't. And you know what? I try to get all sorts. I wanted to send her something and I couldn't even send her anything because they won't let me don't let you buy something and send it to Canada. I don't know what's wrong with that. Yeah. Amazon needs to fix that. They should allow for like international,
Yeah, I've never, tried sending anything by Amazon to Canada. So
yeah. was really disappointing. I'm like, come on, Amazon.
I guess you got to be Canadian to use the Canadian Amazon. They just have to have their own. Don't want to be accused of copying us, I guess.
Oh, Gailey got Pullman pans. I love my Pullman pan. I would like to get the smaller Pullman pan. I have the big one, but I'd like a little small one just to play around with it.
Yeah. You know, it's kind of handy to make little loaves sometimes.
Right.
Bread. I need to open an account from the Canadian site, and then you can post a general link for us Canucks. Okay.
Hi, Pam. Thank you. Oh, and thank you, Tony, because I've seen Tony is in here too. So sweet. You guys are all just so sweet.
Log into Amazon Canada or England or Germany, and you can buy and send it if you do it that way. Okay.
Hi, Crystal. I'm with you, Crystal. I want the small Pullman pans too. Little cinnamon raisin bread. You know what I'm saying? That it's like perfect size. Angie has really cool Pullman pans. I don't know if you've seen hers, Mud.
No.
But they're cast iron and they are gorgeous. They've got the lid on it. And I think they don't even sell them anymore. Angie, correct me if I'm wrong, because she sent me the link and they were like out of stock. And she got them on Amazon and they weren't available anymore. So if they ever become available, I'm picking some up because they're cast iron with the flat lid. Well, with the flat lid, I think it goes right on top of it. So it's like a Pullman pan, but all cast iron. Do they make something like that, Mud?
That is actually one of the more hugely expensive Griswold products out there. Is they have a loaf pan they made in the 30s. It's a cast iron loaf pan that has a skillet handle in the middle of one of the long sides.
Okay.
And then there's a cast iron lid for it. The pan alone, if you can find it, usually sells for $1,200-$1,400, and they go for almost $2,000 if you have a lid with it. I mean, it's one of the genuinely rare, expensive things out there.
Mud, you and I need to get into cast iron business and make cast iron Pullman pans.
Yeah. Start melting down engine blocks and make the cast iron Pullman pans.
We'll name our business Muddy and Kneady. We're Muddy and Kneady.
I have been thinking about trying to do some casting because I got to make a couple of parts for that stove. I need to redo the hinge on it.
Okay.
And I'm probably never going to find a part, but if I could manage to manufacture something, that'd be pretty cool.
If you ever do that, it needs to be a Pullman.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm voting for a Pullman. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
I mean, a Griswold, $1,200-$1,400.
Yeah,
you could sell them for $200 and make a killing. You know, I would buy one.
Yeah.
I'd spend $200 for a cast iron Pullman, because when you buy something cast iron, you never have to buy it again.
Mm.
I mean, I literally own 2 stainless steel pots, and they're I own 3. A big giant one for spaghetti, and then I have 2 smaller ones if I'm making like a rice or mac and cheese for the kids. But honestly, for the most part, I use enameled cast iron if I'm like cooking something with a sauce or something. Yeah. And everything else is all cast iron. And my dad uses cast iron. So, and that's all thanks to you, because you got me into cast iron after saying, no, stop scaring me.
Yeah. And, I was going to show everybody these. I'm going to let you lend these to you. These are super light. These are old gate marked cast iron skillets. And this weighs just barely over 3 pounds.
Isn't Mud sweet? He's sending those to me to borrow.
Yeah. And,
they're lightweight cast iron for my hands.
And
sweet.
Most, a gate mark is a scar on the bottom of the pan.
Okay.
And that's where they filled the mold. And the original casting technique, you'd have the mold upside down, basically. and you'd
Okay.
fill it from the bottom, and that's the hole where the iron was poured into the mold, and it would leave a little scar there, and you just kind of knock that off and file it a little bit. But they got away from doing that for skillets in around 1890 or so.
Okay.
They started casting them face up, and they would pour them on the edge. If you look at any pan, any brand made after 1900 or so, you'll see on the edge there's grinder marks near the handle. There's usually a little smaller grinder mark on the opposite side.
Okay.
That's because if you pour them like this from the edge, it's a lot easier to string a bunch of molds together and have a common runner going to each mold, and you can pour a whole bunch of pans all at one time.
Gotcha.
And the mold fills better because it'll flow in this side and flow across, and there's the other side is an air vent, and once the iron comes out the air vent, it's full.
Gotcha.
But yeah, this style with the handle is kind of higher, and then that little raised diamond, or kind of heart shape and a pointy end. These are made from about 1880 up until about 1890, and there's
Beautiful.
in most gate marks you can't tell who made them.
I'm gonna be afraid to use it, bud. I'll be
no,
like,
don't be
I don't
afraid.
want to.
I use this one quite a bit, so don't be afraid to use it. It's meant to be used. But
You're so sweet. Thank you so much for doing that for me until I can at least lift some of my heavier pieces.
Yeah, that bigger one, I mean, this is a good bit heftier, but it's a good bit bigger too.
Yeah.
That was kind of unusual. It's actually got a maker's iron.
My dad's gonna make a heck of a bramble in that one.
Yeah. That's the same thing. That's an old gate mark pan. Some of the gate mark pans, they have, instead of having that kind of raised, teardrop shape in them,
Yeah.
they got real cool scroll work and kind of floral patterns.
Oh, really?
I haven't found any around here. I've seen them though, and they're just cool as hell, and they're from about the same time period. I've been hoping to come across one of them someday because they're just so pretty. I mean, it's really cool.
Right.
But yeah, this one especially, I mean, that is so much lighter, and you'll be able to wrestle that around.
Yes, thank you so much. You're so sweet.
Becky Brown, here. I wanted to call you in to scorch the cabbage in my Dutch oven. It's still wiping black on the paper towel after washing several times. That's not unusual. After you scrub a pan, mostly what you're getting off of that, it's pretty normal. Even if you wipe a pan out to get a little black on the paper towel or whatever you're wiping it with.
Yeah.
But especially after you scrub them, it works loose some of the old carbon that's been embedded in there, and you'll also get a certain amount of black iron oxide. So don't worry about it. Just wipe it out good. It's not going to turn your food black. As long as you actually, got the burnt cabbage off.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty normal to get some black on your towel when you wipe out a pan after you scrub it. And like I said, that's mostly, iron oxide and carbon, and a good wiping will take care of that. Whatever little bit is left ain't going to hurt you. In fact, the black, there's basically two kinds of iron oxide. There's red rust, and then there's black iron oxide, which usually forms under heat.
Okay.
And the black oxide is what you can use for dietary iron. Your body doesn't absorb red iron from red rust. It absorbs it from the black oxide. So that's the actual source of the iron that you're getting from using iron pans.
Well, I used to be anemic. Like, I was really anemic, and I'm not anemic anymore. And that's because I cook in cast iron.
Yeah.
I have the Blackstone now. I don't know if you have a Blackstone yet. I have a Blackstone, and it's cast iron.
Yeah.
And so you got to clean the whole grill.
Yeah.
And season the whole grill. So my dad seasoned it for me. But I tell you, that's a lot of fun to cook in if you love cast iron, because it's just it's just a flat top, right? Like one big giant cast iron.
Yeah, that's where, like I said, don't worry about a little bit of black. I mean, a whole lot of it, you might have to put a little bit more oil on there and wipe it out again. You'll get some of the excess off, but it's it's normal. Yeah, he thought there was something wrong with your black smears came off your paper towel. No, that's like I said, that's fine and dandy. You don't usually get it quite so much if you just wipe a pan out after you use it if there's nothing stuck to it. Because you don't have to scrub cast iron every time you use it. I mean, you only need to clean it as much as you need to clean it.
Yeah.
But after frying meat, a lot of times you'll have little bits of the juice kind of scorches on, and if you have to wash it after that, that's when you're more likely to get the black here. Trying to back up in the comments a little bit.
Okay.
Get caught up on everybody here. A lot more comments than I'm used to getting. And as interact with the chat a bit.
I know. I love that you guys all came on over to hang out with Mud and I. This was fun. I was really looking forward to this when he asked me, what was it, a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
I was like, I would love to. I need my spirit get back to things that I just love doing, and talk about the things I love doing. And cast iron, I love of cast iron is completely from Mud. So I've learned so much. Like he's just a wealth of information. And I'm telling you, if you're not part of his membership, become part of his membership, because he does giveaways all the time, and his private chats are just, they're so like, I just learned so much from him. And he loves it's your passion, Mud. And I mean, isn't the beauty community here on YouTube, you got like people making their own cosmetics now. Yeah. I don't see why you can't make your own cast iron pan, Mud. And I think it should be a Pullman. I'm gonna bug you now, like you bugged me. I guess I'd be like, did you make that Pullman pan yet?
Have to build me a furnace to get on it. Yeah. Next week I'm going to do a private stream for members, because that's one of the perks of membership, and I actually forgot the last month. So,
I know, my members, they grew so much after my and I feel so bad because I haven't done anything with it, because I just haven't had, first off, I haven't even had the ability to type. That's coming back though now. So I want to dive into my membership and hang out with them for a while, and love on them for a while. So, but I have nothing fancy. So all I have to offer is me right now, because I'm not walking yet. I'm close to walking, but I'm not walking yet. So it's hard to get around my kitchen,
Yeah. Well, this is a good place to start.
It's
pretty low bar.
Yeah. And fun. I was like, I need this for my spirit. Just hanging out with you guys and chit-chatting about all the things that we just love doing,
Yeah, Brenda, no, I haven't made that new electrolysis tank yet. I do have the materials to do it. Still getting on it.
Oh, you guys, I love you guys so much. I'm so sorry my video made me cry too. I literally, when I was editing, the Lord said, go get some pictures at the end and put Matt's pictures. I have this blanket. Look at that blanket. Can you see that? That was a blanket a subscriber had made for me, and I have it on my quilt holder. And so last night I'm like, I don't know how to download a picture and put it in. And I was a hot mess making that video. So I'm so sorry that it made some of you cry. It made me cry too. But it was the least I could do for Matt. He was with me when I made that bread. And it's a lot. It's a lot. I think just losing your husband is a lot, but on top of catastrophic injuries, but every day I know I'm a miracle just being here. I was not meant to survive that crash at all. Matt died from one brain injury. I survived two.
Yeah.
So right there, like, I'm a miracle.
Yeah, I saw that list you posted on Facebook of
Did you see that list? I have not posted that publicly. I should post that publicly, shouldn't I? But I have survived. I survived injuries that half of the medical staff at University of Michigan said it's going to take a miracle for her to live. And then the other half said, and if she lives, she's not, the odds of her knowing who any of you are, or knowing who she is pretty slim to none. So the fact that I woke up and said, who's taking care of my chickens? And my dad throwing his hands in the air saying, she's going to be all right. She remembers she has chickens. That's so it's a miracle that I'm here, and I, as much as I, love my husband and miss my husband, it does me no good to sit in a corner and cry, because I could cry all day, every day. Yeah. But what good am I going to be to my kids that way? So, Matt would want me to keep going forward. I hear his voice all the time telling me, keep going, babe, keep going. So that's what I'm going to do. So, the green machine. The green machine is one of my original subscribers. Been with me forever. How are you doing?
I haven't seen him in a while either. He's been around for quite a while.
That is amazing. Yes, Kathy, you're right. God has plans for me. That's right. That's right. And I'm here for my kids, I mean, just, it's a miracle. So, God's grace was shown on me, and I saw miracle after miracle. Okay, I'll tell you one miracle. You guys want to hear one miracle? It's a miracle. Our accident happened outside of a home. Okay. And the father of the wife that lived in this home was the EMT paramedic that used the jaws of life to get me out of the truck. The woman and the man that lived in this home, she said a prayer for me as her husband ran down to see the scene to see if he could help. And of course, I was taken to one hospital, then I was taken to a second hospital, then I was life flighted to the university. 2 weeks later, I went to a rehab hospital. I wanted to come home, so I went to a rehab hospital in town. And who was my occupational therapist? The woman who prayed for me, whose house was in front of where my accident happened. Now, what are the odds? What are the odds in a state with 10 million people that my accident happened in front of the home of the occupational therapist that would 2 weeks later recover my hands? Because when our accident happened, and he came forward, he hit us head on. He came across the double yellow line and hit us head on. And it was like 3 seconds, I believe it was. And I put my hands up. And when the airbag deployed, it shaved my hands right off my arms. And so broke my arms clear off, my hands clear off my arms. So when I came to her, I had these bandage casts on. I couldn't move my fingers. I couldn't do anything. What are the odds that our accident happened outside the home of the occupational therapist that would teach me to use my hands again, when my hands are, my husband used to say, I had magic in my hands, because he said, you just touch me and I just feel the love that comes out of your hands. They're like mother hands, right? Yeah. But like kneading dough and canning, and I do so much with my hands. I'm so hard on my hands. I use my hands for everything. So the hardest thing for me was not having use of my hands. And when I told her, hey, I'm the lady whose accident, it happened outside your house, I mean, she got goosebumps. Miracles like that, one after another after another after another, happened to me. So there was not a moment that I didn't feel God's love and God's grace through the whole thing. So it was amazing. God is always present. That's right, Chris. Yes, that's a God incident. Yeah, 1 in 10 million. That's right, Green. That's the odds. Oh, my stepmom is Finnish, and she makes this pancake, but it's not really a pancake. It's you bake it, and I don't know the name of it. It's oh, and if she was close, I'd yell for her. It's Finnish. It's got a Finnish name, but it's almost like an egg custard.
Yeah.
Like you bake it in the oven, and it's so, oh my gosh, it's so, and even the kids, like, my kids can be a little picky. They devoured it, they inhaled it. And so I'm going to make a video. I said, Ma, will you make this finished pancake? Can I film you? Because I can sit at the bar and film, but like cooking and filming while you can't walk is incredibly difficult. So right now I'm gonna try to film some of these fantastic recipes that I've never done before, but I want them on my channel so that one day I can make them,
Yeah.
So a finished pancake is coming up, and then my dad loved that bramble video, and he got so much love from that. He's like, what else should I cook for them? I want to do another video for your subscribers. They really liked that. I said they loved it, Dad. My dad's going to be 71 on Sunday. So I gotta get him to make another video. I don't know what we're going to do, but we got to do something.
Crystal Rose, Panakaku.
Yes, that's it. Panakaku. That's it, Crystal.
That's definitely a Finnish spelling.
Yes. Panakaku.
We got a few Finlanders in these parts. They're mostly up on the South Shore.
Dad is hooked. He loved you guys so much. He thought everybody, my dad, especially when after my accident, he would sit in my hospital room just to sit with me. He never left my side in the ICU, and he would just read all the comments that were coming in, and he would sit there and cry. And when he made that video with the bramble, he was just, he was so lit up. He just all the comments, he was like, this is incredible. Like, this is just this. He's like, I want to make your subscribers another video to make them happy. What else can I make? I said, you know what? You need to make a Michigan pasty.
Yeah.
We got to do pasties.
I got a couple in the freezer right now. I know a guy.
My dad makes an incredible pasty. He has the recipe that he has for the dough is so light and flaky and fluffy. It's so good. It's so good. So I gotta have him do that. And I want him to do like a steak and eggs, because my dad can make steak so tender it melts in your mouth, and it's got a beautiful sear on it, but it's not overcooked. It's still like medium in the center. Yeah. It's so good. And he makes it out on the Blackstone. So I know the Blackstone is kind of popular right now. So I thought, and that's what kept me going in the hospital. I would watch the TikToks. Do you watch TikTok, Mudburger?
No, I don't.
Oh my gosh, but I gotta get you on the TikToks. There are so many good cooking videos on there. And I bet you they got cast iron people on there too. You should get on TikTok and make cast iron TikToks.
I might have to branch out one of these.
Yeah, you branch out. But TikTok's so fun because the videos are so quick. And so I really got into the Blackstone videos on there. And that's why I was like, I need a Blackstone. I need to do something fun and another way of cooking, Yeah.
Oh, Kimmy was wondering what's a pasty.
A pasty is like it's like a, I guess you would say it looks like kind of like a calzone. Okay. But they used to make it for the coal miners. And so it was a way to make your husband meat and potatoes and send him on the way down to the coal mines or copper mines up in the UP, the copper mines. And they could have dinner all in one. So it's kind of like a calzone, but it's smaller and it's meat and potatoes. So at least in Michigan, it's meat and rutabaga. Yeah. And in a flaky crust that's like a pocket. So Literally, you can wrap it in foil, take it down to the copper mine, and when it was time to eat dinner, you had your pasty. And it was one meal, and you could hold it by hand. You didn't need a fork and a knife or a plate. And so they were really handy. They also had them over in England, which I think is where they originated. But they're really, really good. Think of it as meat and potato. And here in Michigan, most Michiganders will eat it plain, but you can put gravy on it if you want. Some people like it with gravy.
Yeah, there's a lot of variations you do on the filling. Meat and potatoes and peas and
peas. You can do a vegetarian one. I mean, but essentially it's meat and rutabaga.
Yeah,
and they're really, really good. They're really filling. Yeah, see, pasties are so good. Look at everybody say, pasties are. There's never been a pasty I've met that I haven't liked. I'm starting a pot of broth in the Ball electric canner. The Ball electric canner is like one of my favorite kitchen tools. I use it all the time. We've been steaming corn in it because it's really quick to steam corn in it. But I love it for stock. And I love canning in it. I will never can. I do not like water bath canning. It's just not my favorite thing. You know, I'm a pressure canner. But when I do have to water bath can, I use the Ball electric canner because I don't burn myself. On the stovetop with the blue pot, you know, the traditional canner, it bubbles and brews and it spits all over the place and my floor's all wet, my stovetop's all wet, and but the Ball electric canner, you don't have any of that. And I love being able, in fact, my neighbor who took care of my chickens when I was in the hospital, her family is in the cow business, meat cows. They used to do dairy cows, but Michigan pretty much has pushed out all the small dairy farmers. It's a travesty. But so now they do meat cows. And I forgot I have to text her because she wanted to know if I wanted a quarter cow. Because I'm like, I just need a quarter cow. I don't think I can fit a half cow, but I need a quarter cow. So I got to hit her up. But, where was I going with that? Brain damage. It happens. I had a point to that story. And I can't remember. I don't know what it was from.
You went from the electric canner to
soup bones. She's like, hey, do you need some soup bones, some beef soup bones? And I was like, do you know how much money beef soup bones are at the butcher?
Yeah, they're nuts.
You might as well buy steak and make stock from a steak, right? It's insane. So she's like, my freezer is so overfull of bones. Can you use them? And I'm like, yes. Yes. So I told her I would make her some stock. I'm like, do you use stock, beef stock? And she's like, yes, I do, but I buy it from the store. And I'm like, oh, Court, I gotta make you some homemade sauce. That's what I'm gonna do. She gives me the beef bones. I'm gonna make her and can her some stock and send it down her way so that she can have some. So I'm gonna be making beef stock at some point soon because I'm gonna have a lot of bones.
Try your hand at.
I'm super excited.
You have to try your hand at the portable soup one of these days too.
Yeah.
And dry that stock out. And I tried it in the dehydrator, and that works really good. You know, use like a jelly tray in there, and you fill it up, and you can get a lot smaller pieces. You know, more of a fine, flaky kind of powdery stuff. And it dissolves a lot faster than the big chunks. You know, doing it the traditional way.
Oh, that's nice. Do you have a video on that? I think you need to make a video on that. Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I gotta hunt that video down or send me a link so I can watch that.
Yeah, I didn't do it on the dehydrator on the last video, I think.
Okay.
But did it the traditional way where I simmered it down in a crock pot.
Okay.
You don't want it to boil while you're cooking it down. You just want to keep it warm and evaporate it off. And it'll thicken up and thicken up and thicken up. And once you finally get it to the point where it'll gel, and then you just let it sit in the fridge overnight, and then you peel out this slab of jelly and you just let it dry on your counter basically.
But you're saying put it in the dehydrator and put it in a jelly roll. like
yeah,
a jelly mold.
jelly trays.
Yeah,
Yeah,
jelly tray. Yeah,
you
the
know,
fruit jelly, the fruit roll up. That's it. The fruit roll up trays.
yeah, you
Nice.
just pour your broth in there and let that let that dehydrate in
Uh,
there, and you get these nice, real fine flaky stuff, and it dissolves a lot quicker.
nice.
Because the big chunks, they do take quite a while. It's okay if you're making soup, but if you want to make a cup of broth,
Yeah.
they take a while to dissolve. But yeah, it works pretty slick, and it keeps.
Yeah, that's awesome. I had to pull out my dehydrator and set it out. It's so hot. It was hot today. I was like, your girl was melting out there. I was like, what just did?
Yeah, and the stuff lasts forever. They've reconstituted
Uh-huh.
portable soup that was made back in the 1700s, and it's still good. So it's just the ideal kind of stuff to have. You got a couple of jars of it on the shelf.
Yeah.
You got stock forever.
I got to bring out my dehydrator. I've got so many herbs now coming, and I've got to start dehydrating them so I have them, for the fall, through the winter.
Is it normal for the Fresh Tech ball canner to shut off during canning? Mine keeps shutting off all the time with the green light on.
No, but I know on my electric canner, my green light, even when it's off, it's always on. And I know I'm not the only one. Somebody else had made mention that their green light is always on too. But it should not be shutting off on you. It should be staying at a rapid, constant boil. So I would call them, let them know.
Yeah, I'll send you that video on the portable soup again.
I have never made a video on boiled bread, but I know Mud was just talking about that earlier.
Yeah, the steamed
bread. Mm-hmm.
Steamed Boston bread, but that sounds like it might be kind of different. Boiled bread, yeah, that sounds like it might be a thing, something to try.
Before our accident, I bought the USA pans for hot dog buns and hamburger buns, and I haven't been able to really play with those. So that's something that I definitely want to play with in the fall,
Yeah.
I mean, I've got to keep my hands busy. I mean, I have to keep my hands busy anyway, mentally, but physically, I've got to keep my hands busy. And to be honest with you, Matt worked so much that, on the weekends, our weekends were always filled with running errands and, going out to eat and hanging out and, going to the movies and, and now I'm not going to have that. So I'm going to start making a list of things that I really want to get to fill that empty time, the extra time that I'm going to have. I'm not going to be going out like I used to. I'm not going to be traveling. I mean, just going in a car is hard for me, especially on 2-lane roads. I can't help it. I'm nervous. I'm still nervous.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be traveling a lot. So I want to be able to fill my days. So these are the things I want to do. I want to make hamburger buns and hot dog buns. Who is it? There's a bread company right now at the grocery store that's making, I don't know if it's not Ballpark. They're making everything hamburger buns, stadium hamburger buns, and they're so good. And I'm like, it kills me. It kills me to buy store-made bread and buns because my inner baker is like, I could be making this.
These make great hamburger or hot dog buns.
Hot dog buns. Yeah. My friend Paul from Paul's Rule of Thumb, he just found one of those in an estate sale, and he bought one, and he's gonna make cornbread in them. And I'm like, wow, now I need one. I need a little cute little cornbread.
More members, you might have a chance of winning this in the drawing.
Be a member.
Yeah, you don't have to be a member to be entered in the drawing, but
you don't. Oh, that's awesome. Oh.
But I will do something extra special, nice over on the Facebook page for the members.
For your members.
Yeah, because technically on YouTube you can't do a members only drawing.
Oh, okay.
But it's.
You always have such nice drawings. I mean, the things that you give away are just beautiful.
It doesn't. You'd be surprised at what you can find for cast iron. Just just the secondhand stores, thrift shops, thrift sales, and there's some really nice stuff out there for pretty reasonable prices. A lot of stuff's gotten a lot real expensive, but you can still find pretty inexpensive stuff and nice stuff. And when I do my member stream, I'll go over, how to recognize good iron from bad, because
Yeah.
a lot of imported stuff is perfectly fine. I mean, it's good, works great, you got no problems with it, but there is a lot of bad iron out there too. And
You have a video too that you made for my channel that still has to come out. I think that'll be the next one that comes out, because the video that you made is so good.
Yeah. Well, once you learn how to spot the difference,
Spot it.
You can buy the pan, learn how to buy the pan instead of the brand name.
Yeah.
And that's the most important stuff, because, some of my favorite stuff for cooking is, just cheap little made in Taiwan cast iron pans, and they work fantastic.
Yeah.
Work as good as any, 100-year-old Griswold pan or something like that. So if you really want to, have cast iron to use, you can definitely get some nice stuff pretty cheap, because there's not a whole lot of interest in a lot of the imported stuff.
Yeah.
You can usually find it for $5 or $10 at a Goodwill or St. Vincent de Paul or whatever kind of thrift shops you got around.
Yeah.
Oh, I got 2 new members.
Oh, you're close now. You're 2 members away, right?
2 more. Laura
2
Hayes.
more. Come on, we need 2 more.
Me and you Acres joined.
If you love cast iron, you got to be a member of Mud's channel, and just love him and support him, because he's like he's one of the good guys, you guys. He's one of the good guys. I just love and adore you, Mud. And Mud reached out to me at the hospital when, I was really broken. And his words were just so, they just meant everything to me at the time. And I clung on to them for a really long time. And I'd go back and read the message that he sent me. And it was just, you're just one of the good guys, Mud. And I'm so thankful and grateful that you invited me here to hang out with you. This was so much fun.
Lord, it's been going on for almost an hour and a half now.
I know. It feels like we just started.
We can play a little while. Hey, Mary's Ranch and Wild Cooking just joined too. Down to 1 more.
1 more? Oh my goodness. We need 1 more.
And there
Crystal just joined. Oh, right. That's so, and Mary. Oh my gosh. And Laura and me and you. Oh my goodness. You guys are just awesome.
No, I'll have to.
Oh, and she sent you Mary sent you a what do you call those? The little
super chat.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah. Thank you. All right, so this weekend I'll have to do a drawing video.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Linda just signed up.
Oh, thank you.
There you go. Congratulations, Mud. Oh, I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, I'm tickled to death.
Oh, I'm so excited for you. That's awesome. You guys are awesome. And I'll be there because I'm a member.
Yeah, and you guys can go onto the Facebook, the Mudbrookers members Facebook page.
Right. Which you always post such great information over there.
And even if you don't go onto the Facebook page, I'll still include you in things we do for members over there.
Yeah. Congratulations, Mud. I'm so happy for you.
I'm just tickled to death.
I know. And there's no one that's going to be more appreciative than Mud. He's so appreciative, and he's so grateful and thankful for things. He's one of the good guys, you guys.
Angie's wondering, do you still have memberships going?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm hoping to get back to them. That's going to be my first priority as I come back. I'm going to be honest with you. When I left out of here, it took me, how long have I been? I've been on YouTube since 2007. Okay. It took me that long to get 100,000 subscribers. And then it took me 1 month to get another 100,000.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, it's intimidating. I'm a little scared, because I haven't, when if you've been a YouTuber, when you take a hiatus, it's kind of hard to get back in the saddle, and especially with my injuries and with my loss, it's like every time I think about it, and it's like I get a little overwhelmed, and then quite honestly, I cry a lot. My brain injuries in my frontal lobe that affects my emotions, so I find that I cry all the time. So I think easing back into YouTube land through my members and the love and the support and kind of the privacy that I'll have with my members to be able to go on and just talk with my members will help me get back in the saddle. So I just want to hang out with the members for a while and, get back connected with them and get back to doing. I'd love to get back to the bread series. Our accident happened in the middle of learning how to bake bread. And so I would love to revisit that and kind of get back to that eventually when I can walk. I mean, honestly, every waking hour for me right now is spent lifting weights and icing. And I just got some, I just ordered, what are they doing? The cryo, it's like cryo, I don't know. It's like ice therapy, cryo something. I can't think of it. But they're these ice cube holders that you put over, I didn't know that bones had a lot of nerves in them, apparently. And so a lot of the nerve pain that I have is because of my fractures and stuff. So I'm doing the cryotherapy now. And so just my days are spent healing and recovering and trying to get back to, so once that all settles down and I'm able to walk, because that's my big thing. I got to walk. I got to be able to walk. I got to be able to carry things and walk around my kitchen. I need to be able to vacuum my house and, do these things. So, but I'm going to spend more time with my members because I miss them tremendously. So, but yes, I still do have a membership. Bushcraft fan, thank you. Thanks, Charles. Once I get going, I mean, it's a process. The hardest thing I've ever had to come back from. I've never broken a bone in my life before this accident. Never had I had one surgery. And then I just broke all my bones at once. So
I broke my first bone for my 50th birthday.
Really?
Yeah, broke my tailbone.
Oh my gosh.
Which is amazing. I mean, considering the things I do for a living and do for the hell of it, that I haven't broken every bone in my body more than once already.
Right.
Yeah, man, managed to make it that far without breaking anything, and I fall out front of the house and land right on my tailbone. You could hear it crunch. It was like cracking your knuckles, only louder.
Oh, my dad broke his femur going out to he's got a sauna at his house, and he slipped on some ice, and he said his foot was next to his ear when he broke his femur, and I was like, yeah. Oh.
Oh, Lordy. Oh yeah, I love watching Me and You. Yeah, Mike.
Me and You Acres she films. Her editing is so beautiful, and the things she films is just so. It's just so beautifully edited. So if you guys aren't subscribed to Me and You Acres, she's so sweet. Her and her husband, and they've given up the life in the city, right? And living off grid kind of, and she has goats and chickens, and she just has a beautiful channel. She has a beautiful channel. And Bushcraft Family, you know, he always keeps me up on everything that's happening in the world. I don't even need to watch. I don't have TV in my house. But if you want to know what's going on and what you need to prep for, go to the Bushcraft Family. I'm always updated on his channel.
Yeah, tailbone is painful. It's not really hugely painful, but it is damn inconvenient and irritating because once you break it, you won't be able to stand for a long period of time, and it just starts to ache, and you got to sit down. Well, of course, then you can't sit down for very long.
Right.
But the worst part of it is getting up and sitting down. That's when it really grabs you. You know, it hurts to stand up. It hurts to sit down. You know, it just yeah. You know, like I said, it's not hugely painful, but man, is it just a major irritation. Related to any Hubbards? No, got no Hubbards in the family tree. Oh, somebody asked way back, what exactly is a mudbrooker? Well, a mudbrooker is someone who lives in Mudbrook. There ain't nearly as many. We even have our own theme song. I kid you not.
Really?
Yeah. I wonder if I still have that video on my channel even. There's a local author. You know, I went to school with him. We weren't really close. He was a senior and I was a freshman. You know, kind of knew him. You know, some of the Weiss family knew him a lot better. Name of Mike Perry, and you know, fairly humorous author. Written quite a few good books, and even made the New York Times bestseller list. And one of his side gigs is he's in a band, and he made a song, you know, somewhere out in Mudbrook. And yeah, I used it in a video. Some, you know, long time ago, somebody asked me, you know, why I'm called the Mudbrooker, and I got his permission to use the song. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So if you ever read Mike Perry, and he's, you know, talking about where he grew up, yeah, that's, well, he was over on closer to town than Mudbrook, but
okay. Oh, I didn't know that. Look at it. We all just learned something new.
And he's if you search on YouTube for the Clodhopper Report, he used to do a bit for Wisconsin Public Television, you know, kind of a little short 5-minute things, you know, and that'll give you some idea of what Mike's all about. Pretty funny guy. Yeah, broken tailbone is a pain in the rear. And slip discs, yeah, those are miserable too. Yeah, my chimpanzee with the typewriter. I got to do something different with my my channel banner, you know, because Facebook will default to your YouTube channel banner if you know.
Oh, okay, video. Okay.
And for some reason, YouTube hasn't been processing the thumbnails on a lot of people's live streams, you know, because you pick a thumbnail for the live stream, and I, you know, picked a picture of you because you were going to be here. And all you get are those 3 blurry dots.
Okay.
But you know, and since YouTube hasn't processed a thumbnail, Facebook will just grab your channel banner. Well, mine is a painting by a guy named Franz Marc.
That's right. I've been seeing that lately.
He was a German impressionist back in the early 1900s. He died in World War One. It's called Dude in the Grass. And I picked that years ago because YouTube was having a fit with nudity in videos, and they were banning and striking
for censoring.
You know, for walking through a museum and showing these, you know, nudes in the wall. And at the same time, though, they were still allowing some of the most ridiculous interpretive dance kind of things where you got naked people doing dumb shit on a stage. And yeah, so I, you know, posted that just to more or less irritate YouTube, see what they would do. And yeah, so I have.
They keep using it.
Yeah, so you know, so on Facebook, it you know, it put up an evening for Heather with this picture of a naked woman on there. So yeah, that wasn't really the idea, but
That's hilarious. Yeah, but that's so funny though. I would have kept it that just because it was funny.
Yeah. Well, it should after this.
just like if you posted something about like it was a video like I'm playing with a new toy or something.
Yeah, they did that. They did that too.
And it was a picture of the naked woman, and you're like, and no, it's not this naked woman. Oh, that's my inner 10-year-old that laughs at that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was kind of funny. Play with a new toy and a naked woman.
Oh, so funny.
It should change over once YouTube actually posts this video. Yeah, Angie was wondering why.
I hope it doesn't, because it's funny. And I'm sure people are like, why does most of me post the pictures of this naked painting? That my cheeks hurt. Oh
yeah, turned out to be a little more funny than I figured it would, but yeah, my new toy isn't a naked woman. It's sitting back there in that box. It's that 3-burner gas burner I got. I should get to play with that a little more this weekend, do some tuning on it. I got the fitting for the adjustable regulator on it. Oh, did you see that? It's real slick.
No.
Well, I don't really have time to dig it out. It's real slick. This guy made a box for it. It's a 3-burner crown, like a tabletop gas stove. It's got 3 gas burners, and short little legs like that.
Yeah.
All made out of cast iron. You hook it up to propane. And the guy that had it built a real nice box for it. Everything fits perfectly inside. And he's got a Coleman, like a Coleman stove folding stand.
Oh.
And you unfold that. He's got little notches in the bottom of the box that sit on the stand. And then there's a shelf that slides on the side of the box. And then you set the burners on top of the box when you close the lid. And everything is all fits together just perfectly.
Nice.
And yeah, I was playing with that in my last stream, but it needs a little bit of adjusting. I think it's mostly the pressure regulator.
Okay.
It might not have the right, gas orifices in it. But I'll play around with that a little bit this weekend, get her tuned up, and maybe show that again.
Yeah.
Because the middle burner burns pretty good, but the 2 outside ones, you just get a little tiny.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'll poke out all the holes and clean everything up a little more and see if it'll work nice. Because that'll be nice for I can set that up outside and for canning when it's hot out.
Yeah. You'll have to hit me up. Like, hit me up on the Facebooks when you pull that out so I can see it.
Yeah, I'll definitely show you that once I get her all tuned up.
Because I didn't know that you could talk on like Facebook, like on camera, like you could like chat with people, like on a phone call. I was like, somebody had called me on the Facebook, and I'm like, what is this? I didn't know that you could do that. Yeah. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, I knew you could do a voice on it, but I never really played with the video or anything like that.
Yeah, it's got a video thing on it.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Learning stuff every day.
Yes, I needed that. Yes, tonight has been so much fun. Yeah. Yes, hit the thumbs up. Thanks, me and you. I was telling Mud, I don't use anybody's real name unless they use their real name, because as a longtime YouTuber, you learned that mistake just once. But I don't use my real name. Nobody here knows my real name, because some people don't use their real name in the internet world. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always very like, I'll hold my tongue and just use the YouTube names. Yeah.
There's a few that know my real name, and it's pretty distinctive, so it wouldn't be.
Yes, I know your real name.
That's an old Welsh name, actually, named after a grandfather.
Mm-hmm. My family's Welsh. I'm firstborn American.
Yeah.
In my family on my mother's side.
Yeah.
So my mother and my grandparents came over on the Queen Mary 2. So when she was 5. So but I was the first, born American, other than my aunt.
Yeah. Yeah, my side of the family is mostly Welsh, and they've been over here since the 1600s.
Nice.
But the Welsh are pretty clannish, so they kind of.
What area of Wales do they live? Do you know?
Not offhand, but I know
Okay.
they landed in on Block Island off of Rhode Island.
Oh, okay.
And Grampy Lobster, he's from that way. So
Yeah.
give them a hard time about that. Yeah, but yeah, they tracked across, mining mostly.
Yeah.
They wound up in southwestern Wisconsin, and then came up this way,
Okay. Nice.
up north, took up farming.
My family's from Swansea, so when you look up Wales, look for Swansea. We were supposed to actually, Matt and I, for our 10th wedding anniversary, we were going to go to Wales. We were going to go 10 days. Wales, Ireland, and Scotland. And he started like a little savings fund a couple years ago for it. And then COVID hit. And, that was that. So we knew we weren't traveling anywhere. So we ended up using that money for, other things that needed to be in the house, and stockpiling some things. So, but yeah, that would have been an amazing trip to see, because we have a family house in Wales.
Skipping England. Yeah, you might have got through England.
Ah, Rebecca, your grandson's name is Reese. Yes, I have an Uncle Reese and an Aunt Avril.
And Dad's side of the family is mostly Norwegian. His grandparents immigrated. All kinds of Welshmen out there.
Yeah, look at all the Welsh.
Half family already here, and the other half were Scots Irish killed in the first half. Yeah.
Oh, Margie, you're so sweet. Thank you. I think, I've been doing, like, I have a whole, I don't know, right there, a whole stack of books right there of reading through grief. A lot of books written by widows, and laughter is the best medicine. Laughter is the best medicine. And, grief can suck you in. Like I said, I could, suck my thumb and rock in a corner all day long and never come back out, but God didn't keep me here for that. So, so I try to find laughter. Not always easy. Not always easy. So I appreciate that, though. You guys are so sweet.
Oh, bye, Angie. Heading out.
Yeah. Bye, Angie. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, we should probably wind this up.
Yeah. Before YouTube makes it impossible to upload on your channel, right?
Yeah.
How long does a live stream for you usually take?
I usually try and keep them around an hour.
About an hour. And is that how long it then takes to, or does it go up right away? I don't do live streams on my channel, so
they generally go up right away.
Do they? Nice.
Sometimes longer ones. You can go, real long ones. 5, 6, 10 hours even.
Okay.
And with those will take longer to upload, but a couple hours they usually pop right up pretty fast.
Yeah. Nice.
Angie. And like I said, we should probably wind this up.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody coming out and hanging out. Yeah. This was so much fun, and thanks for inviting me, Mud.
Oh,
This was good medicine for my spirit. And I just, just talking about things that are just, happy talk,
and thanks to all the new members for joining. We can
Right. Congratulations. And
and
I'm so excited for all your new members because you're going to have so much fun.
yeah, and go check out me and you Acres. They're great to watch, and Bushcraft Family, they're good too.
Yep. Good
Kind of weird.
people. Good people. Just good people. We have so many good people in this community. It's been incredible.
Yeah, I'm kind of leery of doing shout outs anymore because it's usually the kiss of death for somebody.
I know.
I used to do shout outs before, and usually within about 2 months, I'd end up leaving YouTube. So,
Yeah, or they just end up not being maybe the best people. you know so it's hard. I try to keep, I keep my circle very small and tight now.
me and you joined your channel too. That was nice of you. Okay, yeah. So, we'll say goodnight here. I hope you all have a wonderful night. Thanks for
I
showing up.
know. Thanks, guys. Have a good night. This was fun. Thank you, Mud.
Okay, I'll stick around for just a little bit here.
Okay.
And the broadcast.